Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AMMIERA binti ZOLKEFLI. My meeting number is 2022786157. So today I'm going to present about the hex HTMLs and also CSS. So let's proceed. Alright, do you know what is XHTML? XHTML stands for Extensible Hypertext Markup Language. It is used to define and organize the page content, but not to format or style it because it is part of CSS. XHTML also was developed by World Wide Web Consortium, which is WTC, and it is also the combination of XMLs and also HTML. And then one of the benefit of XHTMLs is that it helps to make web page look identical in different browsers such as Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari, and etc. And as you can see here, this is the example of tool editor, which are Notepad++, Sublime, and also Visual Studio Code. Alright, next I will explain about the XHTML's elements. Alright, the first one is XHTML's elements must be properly nested within each other. Second, the XHTML's elements must be in lowercase. As you can see, the body part, the paragraph part is in lowercase. And the last element is, it must be always be closed. It means that we must start with the start tag and we must end with the end text. And in this context, don't forget to close the elements. Alright, next for the XHTML's attributes, the first one is it must be written out in a lowercase. HTML's documents must use lowercase for all the attributes name. Next, each attribute must have a quotes value even though it is numeric. And the last is the minimization is forbidden. It means that the attribute value pairs must be written in a full. Alright, moving on to the next part, which is CSS. CSS is stand for Cascading Style Sheet, and it is used to style and arrange our HTML's element. It also used for formatting structured content and used to make HTML's document looks more attractive and presentable. The preferred ways to write CSS is in its own external file sheet, which is .css. Next, there are many CSS properties. However, this is the basic properties in CSS, which are text properties, list properties, border properties, and font properties. Alright, in each properties, it contains their own properties like color for the text properties, list style for the list properties, border color for the border properties, and the last is font size for the font properties. Alright, there are 5 selectors in CSS, which are ID selectors, class selectors, grouping selectors, element selectors, and the last is universal selectors. Selectors used to identify elements on your website. The first selectors is ID. ID selectors is used the ID attribute of an HTML to select a specific element, and this indicated by hashtag function. Next, class selectors. Class selectors is used to identify multiple elements on your website, so we can change the style all those elements at once, and this indicated with the dot function. And the third element is the element selector, which is it select the HTML elements based on the element name. And the fourth selector is grouping, which is it selects all the HTML elements with the same style definitions. And the last selectors is universal selector, which selects all HTML elements on the page. Alright, the last part is type of CSS. There are 3 types of CSS, which are inline style sheet CSS, internal style sheet CSS, or we call it as embedded CSS, and the last is external style sheet CSS. Inline style sheet CSS use the style attribute inside HTML's elements, while for the internal style sheet, it uses the style element in the head section. And the last is external style sheet, which is use a link elements to link to the external CSS file. That's all for me. Thank you for watching.